Hello and welcome to the. Oh, hold on. I hear an echo. That's okay. Hello and welcome to the Holyoke School Committee regular meeting, calling this meeting to order at 6:01. Roll call, Miss Feliciano, please. Here.
Mr. Sheehan, are you there with us?
Yes, present. I couldn't hear anyone calling names.
Okay, sorry about that. Ms. LaFave?
Present.
Well, Ms. LeBron Martinez?
So I can't have anything.
Ms. Tensie Williams?
Aki.
Mr. Zasa?
Present.
Mr. Willihan?
Here.
Mr. Gallimore? Oh, present. And Ms. Wilson?
Present.
All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the
Flag. United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we had a special request from Mr. Collymore. Mr. Collymore?
Yes, I'd like to have a moment of silence for our fellow school board member, Mr. Fitzpatrick, who passed away this week.
Thank you, Mr. Collymore.
Got it.
Mr. Willihan?
Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Gilmore. And I know Mr. Fitzpatrick, he served here on the school committee many years ago. He's very active in the city. His father was active back in the day for the city. The Fitzpatrick ice skating rink is named after him. So it's named, his father's name was Henry Fitzpatrick. So the ice skating rink is named after him. He founded the city's hockey program back in the day. So I just want to say a few words for both the father and son. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll honor the moment of silence now. Thank you, Mr. Collymore, and thank you, Mr. Willihan. Back on business. Today, March 29, 2025, Governor Maura Healey signed into law bodies to extend as amended, which contain the final form of the bill entitled An Act Relative to Extend Certain COVID-19 Measures Adopted During the State of Emergency. Of interest to all governmental public bodies in Massachusetts, the Act extends until June 2027 the authority for meetings of multiple member bodies to be held in an entirely remote or hybrid format. All public bodies may hold fully remote or hybrid meetings without the physical presence of a quorum of the body, as long as adequate alternative means of public access is also provided. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, I'm hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of the meeting, and the meeting is being live streamed and run live on the city's community TV channel. Welcome, everybody. We don't have a student showcase. Miss Feliciano?
No.
Any public comment?
Nope.
All right, moving along. Superintendent's report. Mr. Soto.
Thank you. First item in my report is DESE recently released some competency determination guidance. So if many of you recall, we created a policy just for last year before they had created the guidance that they did. And some highlights with the new guidance is essentially that the school committee has to develop a policy, right? And we're shooting to have that approved by October 31st. I think one of the biggest changes to what we already have in place is that we have to specify in the policy how students are going to demonstrate mastery. Could be through an interim assessment, could be through a final exam. That was one of the key things that, as part of DESE's guidance, that we have to come up with. And in your packet, I also have a proposed timeline, hoping that today we can get this referred to the appropriate subcommittee, and then have it back. Our team is going to shoot to have everything, have a draft policy for them to review, and no later than September 8th. So we'll be ready to draft something that's in compliance with the guidance that we got. And then hoping that in early October, the full school committee approves the policy so that we can submit it to DESE on October 31st. We had a webinar last week with them, and one of the things that they mentioned is that it's actually December 31st, but we think it's appropriate to give more time to students and families to know what the policy is going to look like. So we want to stick to our October 31st deadline, and then have enough time to communicate that to families.
Thank you so much. Mr. Isasa.
I move that the school committee vote to refer development of a competency determination policy to the leadership and accountability subcommittee.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Leslie Williams. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, never mind. We have to roll call because we have a member on Zoom. My bad. Roll call, Ms. Feliciano.
Dr. Rivera-Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
There.
yeah, I think we lost him.
All right. So
So,
roll.
you can,
Yeah, just keep.
Ms. LaFave, sorry.
Yes.
Ms. LaRon Martinez.
Yes.
Ms. Tensi Williams.
C.
Mr. Izaza.
Yes.
Mr. Wellahan.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Collmore.
Carrie
Ms.
said
Wilson.
yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great. The next item in my report you received in your packet. Annually, we have to, as part of Chapter 71, Section 37, we have to disclose in a public meeting what the cost of our SROs was this past year. We had two SROs in our agreement, and the total cost for this past year was $157,448. And in addition to that, we're required to disclose what our proposed budget is for the upcoming year for mental, social, emotional health support personnel. And included in your packet, you can see that the total budget for that was about $7.7 million. And that consists of guidance counselors, school adjustment counselors, any school social workers that we may have, which we don't actually have any of those in our budget. A psychologist, school nurse leader, and then all of our school nurses, whether they are personnel or non-personnel related. That information is included in your packet. In addition, we're required to disclose in a public meeting how many school-based arrests and citations and court referrals were made in the previous year. And included in your packet, you can see that we had one school-based arrest last year at Holyoke High School, and there were 0 citations and court referrals made. in addition to that, we've included a draft of the SRO agreement itself. The biggest change we took out any reference to receiver, and then the substantive change is really that we're actually paying for a third SRO. This essentially is the supervisor of the SROs, and that person is going to be stationed at both of our middle schools, between Peck and Sullivan. The other two have always been at Dean and at Holyoke High. This is just, that was the biggest change. You had already approved that in the budget when you took a vote on the budget, and this is an agreement. I know there's a recommendation there to refer it to policy, but it's not really a policy. It's really just sharing with the school committee the agreement that we have in place. I want to note that DESE and the state provides like model agreements for SROs, and we actually took and modeled our agreement after what the best practices are according to the state.
Ms. Wilson.
Just to clarify, on the information you shared with us on slide 3, it says cost to the district or charter school. I just want to make sure we're not paying for anything for a charter school.
We're not.
I just wanted to clarify that because the language in there, one could assume that we are. Thank you.
Thank you.
For purpose of the public, can you say what SRO, I know what it means.
SRO is a school resource officers. So we have one at Holyoke High who has been in the role for a very long time, and we have one at Dean who has also been in the role for a long time. And we've had several supervisors over the last 5 years. Most recently, Lieutenant Leahy is the school resource officer supervisor. And what's different about that position for the upcoming year and why we budgeted for it is because we want more of a presence in our middle schools, as opposed to, bouncing around to other schools. He's actually going to be stationed at our middle schools.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
Mr. Wellahan.
Thank you, Mr. Soto, for this. My question is regarding like the school, the counselors and the psychologists. I know last year we had a lot of vacancies in those positions that we couldn't fill. I know we had to hire some firms to kind of fill those spots. Is there any anticipation this year that those might be filled? Or I'm not sure what your anticipation is for that.
Yeah, the psychologist was the main area that we struggled. We didn't really struggle to hire school counselors, guidance counselors, and adjustment counselors. The hardest positions to fill were the school psychologists, and right now we have about $113,000 budgeted in contracted services, and we try really hard to recruit and get people to fill the roles of the psychologists, and at some point during the year we have to make a decision on whether or not we're going to be able to fill the positions, and where depending on the caseload and everything, make sure that we have enough in our contracted services budget to so that we could provide services.
Do you anticipate hiring for those positions? I mean, hopefully, but what are the chances of that happening? I mean, going forward, it might just be just a light item that we can anticipate not finding an employee for the school department and just have it filled for contract services. That just might be something to look at going forward.
Yeah.
Ms. Lafayette.
So just a few questions and clarification. When we're talking about the court referrals, for what reasoning would be the court referral? Are we attendance? Could it be a number of different factors?
Could be. I think the way based on this being safety and security in Chapter 71, Section 37P, it would be if, for whatever reason there was a safety concern where we felt that the courts needed to get involved, that, it would be those. It's not like,
not attendance.
Not attendance 51A, because, that number would not be zero.
Okay. Okay, and then the previous year, we're talking about the one that just finished.
Correct.
Okay. And just for a point of clarification, it was not in here. I was looking for it was the number of arrests.
One.
Yeah, you said it, but you said it was in our report. I didn't see it in here.
Yeah, it is in your report. It's just not in that
The-
presentation.
okay.
It's in the packet. You
In
would
the
have had
packet.
to.
Okay. Got it.
Like the bullet right after that.
Okay.
Ms. Tinsley Williams?
Mr. Soto, the person, what degree must they have, the psychologist?
They have to be licensed, and usually you have to be licensed in for that position.
Associates, okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say associates.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
A doctorate, doctor, okay.
And you have to have a license for that through the Department of Ed.
Thank you.
Ms. LaFave?
So then, vote to approve. I'm a motion to vote to approve the SRO or to receive.
To receive.
We don't do the approval on the SRO MOU. Okay, so
I don't see anything in the policies or state regs that say you have to.
Superintendent
Let
and their
me.
financial. Yeah, financial and you. Yeah. Part of the budget. We already approved it.
Can
I second the motion to accept the memorandum of understanding.
Motion was made by Ms. LaFave, seconded by Ms. Wilson. Discussion? All right. Is Mr. Sheehan back? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
All right. Next in the superintendent report is is an update on the Transitions Academy. So I wanted to provide everyone with an update. As many of you know, last year there were conversations about exploring space for transitions. The staff had expressed like they're kind of outgrowing that space, and it wasn't a great space to begin with, but it was, for the amount of time that they spent there, a lot of them are usually out in the community, getting like work-based learning experiences. We put together that Metcalf working group to explore how we were going to use Metcalf, and had made a decision back then that we were moving Opportunity Academies over to Metcalf. And, when that happened, it occurred to me that, the space that Opportunity Academy was at on Maple Street would likely be a great space. So we had staff take a look at the space, and the first time around there was a lot of concern from families and staff around putting the transitions program into one of our existing schools. So there were conversations about, hey, because STEM is leaving, there's going to be a lot of space at Dean. Can we move the program there? And the feedback that we got was overwhelming, that a lot of the families felt that would be a step back from them being able to transition into the real world, and that they would feel like being in a school is not a good setting for that program to be. They wanted to stay downtown. They wanted to be on the bus route, knowing that some of these kids go to HCC. Some of them were teaching them how to use the bus routes themselves to be independent. So many of them are like, that's part of what we're doing in that program. The space was overwhelmingly like the staff felt like it was great. The kids loved it. And we reached out to HCC to see if we could continue to stay in that space, even though the program was changing a little bit. We had to make some slight modifications. Like, we wanted to make sure that there was a washer and dryer in there. We tried to see if we could put a kitchen in there. HCC was not open to it, but they had a better idea, which was using the culinary center that they have down on Cabot Street. So which would be great. Like our kids would still be able to have access to a kitchen. And right now where we're at is we want to finalize that agreement with HCC. There's still some painting that has to happen. We want to have an open house for families. And eventually we need to let Open Square know that we're not planning to renew the lease. The lease is actually up in November. So we have not had a conversation about not renewing that lease, but we would have had to either renew the lease or find an alternate space by November, because that's when the lease was going to be expiring. And we got to finish the renovations to install the washer and dryer. And like I said, have an open house for families. So we're, the principal of Opportunity Academies and the manager of the program did invite families to talk about this. And, it was very well attended, and the feedback that families gave was really positive.
Ms. Wilson?
So I'm confused, and is it going to HCC or is it going to Metcalf?
I'm sorry, I should have.
Because I'm very confused.
So Opportunity Academies is going to Metcalf. That was decided, we had brought the recommendations to the committee back in April, I believe.
Okay. Yep, I'm just sorry. I just got them confused in my mind, so that's perfect. Thank you.
That's totally understandable. Within Opportunity Academies, we have we have the Gateway to College program, we have the Success Center, and Transitions is an actual arm of the Opportunity Academies program. Transitions was down at Open Square.
Right.
I believe it's Dwight Street, or yeah.
All right.
It's either Dwight or Appleton. Like I'm confusing those two streets, but that's the space that. So. Okay.
Ms. LaFave?
So I am excited for our students from the transitions program, but I just want to make sure that with the culinary aspect of it, because I know that at Open Square they had their kitchen. It was more about learning life skills. So they had the bedroom, how to make your bed, stuff like that. The program was expanding, more students, so it was becoming very crowded in there. Number one, can this space at the Pignelli Center, will it provide enough ample space for the students when they're all together and for them to have lunch and stuff? Are they going to have to change the eating schedule? Number two, when we're talking about the culinary center, because they do have their own classes there for HCC, are they going to be able to meet the needs for our students in providing us that space? And will it only be just once a week? Will it be more than once a week? How many hours? So it's just those things that I don't know if you have the answers to them, but just making sure that when we're finalizing these agreements, that the decisions that are made in respects to the culinary aspect, the kitchen aspect of it, that it's really taken into consideration for these students.
Yeah, those are some of the details that we have to iron out. Do you have an update, Sean, on the kitchen specifically?
So the program manager has met with HCC Culinary. Their teachers there are great. They had a really good, a couple meetings, I think, to talk about the program, what it would look like. It probably will only be once a week, but they've talked about how maybe that one day a week is the cooking, but the week before you're prepping for it. So the manager seems really excited. The space is great. We toured the space, and they used it a little bit last year, but it'll be part of the regular curriculum this year. So probably will be one day a week or a morning a week, but the manager is working that into the curriculum and it's going well.
Ms. Wilson.
So, thinking of cooking, I know typically we tend not to think of microwaving as cooking. I just want to make sure that there's a microwave there, because that's also with a lot of ready-to-eat meals, ensuring that our students know how to prepare those as well. So, just the thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an answer as to whether or not there's a microwave there, but yeah, okay.
And from my side, the thing that I always worry about is, I know that back in May, there was a conversation with the families and everybody, and that's great. May was a long time ago in family speak and student speak. And I'm sure it wasn't 100% attended. So what has been the communication to the families to know where they're gonna go, what changes are gonna be, and that kind of thing, so that they have something to refer back when they're getting ready to go back, that they know where to go and what the changes are gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, the staff have reached out to every family. It's a small enough school. I mean, we're not talking 200 kids. It's like in the 30s, I believe I mean, I remember we had like 36 last year. So, it's much more personal, the outreach with that program, because they're so small and, everybody knows the family members. We do plan on having an open house once everything's ready, so that the families can come and take a look at the space.
And then I know that there's a lot of stuff going on getting all the schools prepared. And I see the other Sean is here too, so thank you for all of that, because I know that you're in charge of that. I just want to make sure, and I know you do this, but I just have to say it for myself, to make sure that all the schools are getting all of the attention that they need. Like, moving from open square to the new space is going to take time, effort, boxes, etc. And I know that we're also, not a big deal, opening a whole brand new school that we're also trying to get ready as fast as possible. So I just want to make sure that all the schools have their needs met, and we don't only focus on the new shiny school and then the other ones suffer because of that.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for raising that. I've been going through schools and through the lens of that, like, are we ready to open the school? We have a back to school checklist, and like, there's a ton of stuff that at the building level we ask our senior custodians and principals to sign off to make sure that the building is ready for the start of the school year. I'm not going to sit here and paint a rosy picture and say everything's going to be perfect. When you move programs and when you build a new school, like, we actually deploy a lot of our staff to help with that, right? So we had a whole crew to help with the PEC move. We provided assistance to help with we provide assistance whenever it's requested to help with any of that stuff that's going on. So this is probably the busiest time of year for our facilities team. There's blackout periods for when they can take vacation, but like, today is the day that everybody's back and it's all hands on deck, making sure that, especially in schools that had summer school going on, there were areas of the building where we couldn't touch. But now that program is over, the schools would do everything they can in the areas that weren't being used by students and staff. And then once summer school ends, it's like all hands on deck. Let's get this part of the building ready. But again, this is not like any other year. We, with moving of programs and building a new school and getting that ready, there's still gonna, we're gonna do the best we can. But definitely appreciative that we have this brand new school and we were able to accommodate and think creatively about how we can use the spaces that we have. And in the process, we're going to be eliminating one of the leases that we have, which I know the city council will be very happy to hear.
Ms. Tensley Williams.
Mrs. Soto, I just want to make sure that they get enough food to eat because I was at the transitional place all day one day and the food that they got was really not enough. And there's some pretty big fellas there, so maybe they could give them a little more portions, a little larger.
Yeah, I mean, we have to make sure we're in compliance with the federal nutrition program, and you know the portion sizes are in accordance with that. We can't just completely disregard what the federal nutrition requires. It requires a certain amount of calories that you can't exceed. So I understand your point, but if we want to be a part of the federal nutrition program, which allows kids to get free meals, we're not charging kids for meals or anything like that. We got to make sure that we're in compliance with those guidelines.
Suppose they wanted more food, would they have to pay for it?
There's a share table. So like if kids don't choose not to eat their fruit or whatever snacks they have, there's usually a share table for that. And if kids want more, they get more.
Okay.
I will say that, a couple of years ago, because that was a satellite program, and by satellite program, I mean, we're not actually preparing the meals there. They're being prepared at either Dean or one of our other schools and then delivered to that satellite location. There were some complaints about the quality of the food. And once we raised that to the Sodexo's attention, they quickly pivoted, and I've been getting positive feedback from both Opportunity Academy and Transitions on that shift that they had made a couple of years ago.
All right, I just wondered because I was there and the food was almost for kindergartens, and I wasn't like, and some of the people did complain that they didn't have enough to eat, so I said I would raise that question.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Soto. Any other questions on Transitions Academy? Seeing none, we move on. Thank you. Vice Chair report, we need to vote on our delegate for the nomination for the MASC conference, which is going to happen November 12th to the 14th. Ms. Wilson?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Isaza.
A second.
Take it a second.
Ms. LaFave?
Are we doing first for the delegate and then
For
we'll
the
take a
delegate,
vote
yes.
for the alternate? Okay.
Yes. Or did you want to do it both together? I think it's less confusing for note taking if we do one first and then the other. Okay. All right.
Mr. Kelmore,
Oh.
second.
Ms. Feliciano.
Devin's back on.
All right. Thank you.
So again, I'm putting the name of Mr. Isaza in as the delegate from Holyoke.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. LaFave. Discussion?
So I just want to clarify with Mr. Isaza the
I was-
expectations of the role. So
Yeah.
did you want to do that?
No, that's okay. You can go.
Okay, so there's the MASC, the Massachusetts Association of School Committees, has a conference on the Cape in November because it's a little bit of a drive. That's why I shared that. It's not warm enough to do anything fun, I assure you. It's typically a Wednesday through Friday, and as the delegate, there are questions that are asked, and you would vote on behalf of the school committee, the Holyoke School Committee. And transportation, there's reimbursement, and your hotel rooms are paid for. Meals are part of the actual conference. Okay, got it.
Ms. LaFave.
I'm going to clarify that.
Excellent.
Okay, as for meals are separate. Separate from each meal. The conference does go from the 12th to the 14th, which is the Friday evening. The expectation is to be there through the presentations that'll be happening and the awards in the evening, and then you go home on Saturday morning. whoever goes, the expectation is that you bring back information and you provide a report to the school committee. Once we're voting here is because we're voting, and then that gets paid through then the school department. Would be for the delegate and the alternate delegate. You have to make your hotel reservations on your own, which you can use the code for the booking, group rate booking that's provided for attendees for MASC. Things were different when we were in receivership. So now this is what is expected of all districts are doing. So that's how it will be as well for Holyoke. So if you are willing to be the delegate, you'd go from the 12th to the 14th, and then there's lots of sessions that you can sign up for. Not even sign up for, you can attend all the multiple sessions that there are, general session, as well as the dinners, the luncheons, your networking with other members from across the Commonwealth. That's about it. So is that a yes?
Do you
for
accept
me?
the
Okay,
nomination?
just wanna make
Yeah.
sure. And just so that everybody else is aware, whoever's going to be nominated as the alternate.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Kenzie Williams, Mr. Izaza,
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
I would like to nominate Dr. Yadelet Rivera Colon as the alternate.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. LaFave. Discussion. I happily accept the nomination.
Okay. Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
LaFave,
Yes.
LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Kenzie Williams,
See.
Mr. Izaza,
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
You forgot Mr. Sheehan. Oh gosh, Mr. Sheehan. I knew I was. That I'm looking and
I know
Mr. Sheehan, are you there?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you
Alright.
said yes.
I think
Thank
you
you.
said yes. Ms. LaFave.
I just want to make sure that we get them registered like as soon as possible. That way we get the
Early
better
bird.
rate, the early bird rate. Don't know if it's still going on, but that and then the group rate for the hotel as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look into it, Irene, but I remember last year each person had to register individually.
Mhm.
So I think that's the case. You did something last year that allowed us to streamline that process.
Because otherwise,
But
Right, but I'm not.
Irene,
No.
Irene,
No,
Irene will take it from here and
we'll
let
work
you know.
together to get Holyoke and make sure that Holyoke's there, and I'll see you all there, as well as Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you so much. So we will follow up with any updates for that. Next up, we have new business. MSBA Accelerated Repair Submission. Mr.
Yeah,
Soto?
I wanted to provide a quick update on the accelerated repair projects that we have. I'm going to have Sean Sheedy come up to just talk about where we're at in the process. We did submit for 5 roof projects. Some of them are partial roofs, and we have 2 different OPMs. 3 of the roofs are with one OPM, and 2 of the roofs are with a different OPM. I want Sean to come up and just give you a brief overview of where we're at in the process. Unlike in years past, there were certain actions that the school committee had to take that the receiver did in years past. So we will be coming back to you whenever there is any school committee action that needs to take place. But for tonight, we just wanted to provide a brief overview of that project.
All right. Hello, everybody. I wanted to come in today also to have to talk about what Anthony was talking about, and but also to put a name with the face. So my name is Sean Sheedy. I'm the Director of Facilities and Maintenance, recently appointed. So I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to working with every one of you and as we move forward. So like Anthony said, there's 5 roof projects. 3 of them are full roof replacements and 2 of them are partials. So the 3 full roof replacements will be for Holyoke High School, Kelly School, and McMahon School. And the partials will be for Sullivan School and Donahue School. So the partials were done in 2022. So this will be the last half of those. So now there'll be a full complete roof replacement on that. So the whole thing will be done within a few years of each other. The full roofs, Holyoke High, Kelly, and McMahon, will be the entire thing. We're talking about lifting off air conditioning units off the roof, fixing masonry, fixing any issues that have been coming along, skylights, anything like that. The product that we'll be using is a 20-year product. It's a TPO product, thermoplastic. And there's a lot more technical details that go along with it. But basically you get a 20-year warranty with it. So we have submitted our schematic design for the 3 full roofs. That has already been pushed through, and we have some of the numbers for that as far as estimating goes from the designer and from the OPM. We can just talk about it quickly, but the MSBA gives us our 80% reimbursement. So for us here in Holyoke, we get an 80% reimbursement rate. And then, so just Holyoke High, for example, is $12.9 million, and we're going to get $9.8 million under our grant. Kelly is an 8.6 total and a $6.6 million grant, and then McMahon is 4.4 million, and then the grant would be 3.4 million, and that includes hard costs and soft costs. So soft cost is the designer, the owner's project manager, anything from the design to management side of it, and then the hard cost will be the construction cost. Sean and I negotiated a lot of those fees already. For the 3, we're talking about the 3 full replacement roofs right now. Sean and I have already met multiple meetings, and all of that has been submitted to the MSBA. We've negotiated down their contract fee and everything, and we've come in for that at a 5% for the OPM fee and an 8%. They started a lot higher. We whittled them down, and that's where we landed with that. So that's been submitted to the MSBA. They have to take a vote at the end of this month, the MSBA will, on what we have submitted for the 3 full roof replacements. Hopefully they'll accept it, and then we'll be invited for the full project scope. At that point, I will have to go back to the school committee and present a full package to them and get their vote for that money. As far as the partial roof replacements go, that group has been a little slow to the race. They're a little bit behind, but they're still working hard on it. We're waiting on an estimate from them. From that estimate, we get the designer fee and the OPM fee and the total project cost. They'll put that whole package together, and that will become the SD submission or schematic design submission to the MSBA, and that will happen for the October vote. So MSBA meets every 2 months. So for the full roofs, will be in August from the MSBA vote, board members, and then in October will be for the partials. So at that point, with timing, I'd like to go to the city council with a full package with both of them. So I'm not going to them with the full roof replacement and then the partials. I'd rather just get everything back from the MSBA and then go in front of the city council and ask for the whole package. Because the plan is to go after next summer for all 5 of these roofs.
Sean, can I just
Yep.
add to what you're saying? So I wanted to just name that the reason we're doing 2 partial roof replacements is because whenever you do an MSBA project, you can't apply to replace a roof unless it's 30 years or more. And when the 2 schools that were doing partial roof replacements at had additions, I believe, and those additions weren't over the 30 years yet. So part of the building, the roof was over 30 years, and then there was a part of the building that wasn't over 30 years yet because it was an addition it wasn't original to the school. So that's why these schools, now that the main part of the building has already been replaced, we wanted to make sure we finished the addition part of the building that now meets the over 30 years old threshold that the MSBA has.
Right, and that's correct. And I could touch quickly on the latest submission. So we do this every 2 years now. We used to do it under Whitney, it was every year, but the MSBA changed that. So now it's every 2 years. So the most recent one I applied for was the window and door replacement at Donahue School in the new wing and the window and door replacement at McMahon School in the courtyard. And that goes to what Anthony was saying. Certain factors, like the roof and the windows, have to meet a certain timeline before you can apply for that. So with Donahue, we just made that mark, so we were able to apply for the new wing. And then McMahon will be the finishing of what we couldn't do this last round. So, go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Sean, you said the 9.8 million goes to Kelly's.
Mm-hmm.
The 26 goes where?
What's that?
You said 26 million.
Well, no, for all 3 projects you're saying total?
Well, you said 9.8 million goes to Kelly's, but I see 26 million, and I was wondering if that included.
Yeah, so if the 26 million is the total project cost for the 3 full roof replacements.
Thank you.
Right, so it's 12.9 million plus 8.6 plus 4.4. That doesn't mean that's what construction costs will come in at. We could have a lot of bid savings, but that's what the owner's project manager and the design team have come up with, what they feel as though is their best estimate. It also gets us schematic design gets us a professional estimate from a professional estimating company, and that's part of the package, and they give us a detailed estimate of what everything will cost.
Thank you.
So like when we go out to bid, we could save $4 million, right, in the end, and that goes into contingency or to be used for something else or something to that effect. But as far as the grant goes, the MSBA will only give us the 80%. So it's 80% off of the 12.9. That's where you come up with the 9.8 million for Holyoke High. Kelly would only get the 6.6. So,
John.
yep. And Holyoke, we usually get our 80%. That's calculated by a lot of factors, so it's just a lot of other cities, they don't get that. Just down the river, they get 15%, 18%. So Holyoke, we get 80%. So that's a huge help from the MSBA, and thank goodness we get it because, yeah. So as far as the partials go, like I said, they're a little bit behind. But they are getting their packages put together. I don't have those numbers in front of me from them, but I threw some quick numbers together so you guys can kind of understand what's going on for that. Donahue, I expect that roof to come in at about 3.3 million, and Sullivan 4.9 million. And then we can just do the quick math on that of, the 80%, what the grant would be. And then the schematic design, going back a little further in time, as far as schematic design goes, I've already gone through this with City Council. We've already allocated that money, and with a vote from them. And then it was, what I set aside was 75,000 for Sullivan, 75,000 for Donahue, 150,000 for Holyoke High, 100,000 for McMahon, and 100,000 for Kelly. And that's for both the OPM and the designer. They split the fees up within there. I don't have to get, if you guys want more details about it, I can answer that. But that's already been set aside. That money's in accounts and everything on the city side, and we're already starting to pay invoices towards the OPMs and the designers for that. So that'll, after the partial roof gets submitted, that'll be the final leg of the schematic design, which MSBA, they don't call it feasibility anymore on ARP projects. They just call it schematic design. They felt as though it was a waste of money to go after feasibility when we know that, yes, we need a roof. Why else would we be applying? So we just go after schematic design. And the next phase will be for the total project scope and for construction.
Thank you, Sean.
Mr. Isasa.
What's the rationale for the higher reimbursement? What is the rationale for the higher reimbursement?
There's a lot of factors. It goes by, I didn't bring that, sorry.
It's essentially what your community can afford, right?
Correct, yes.
Similar to Chapter 70, we get 88% of our funds from through Chapter 70 through the state formula, whereas a community right down the road that probably has a bigger tax base and more revenue, they actually get much less through Chapter 70 to meet their foundation budget. So it's a formula that MSBA puts together. We happen to qualify based on our demographic and based on our local economy. We happen to qualify for, yeah, and financial.
Mr. Wellingham.
Thank you. Yeah, Newton and Wellesley, they don't need 80%. Okay, that's for the record. Mr. Sheedy has been before the Finance and Operations Committee numerous times. He always comes well prepared. He has a wealth of knowledge. We really thank him for his dedication to his job and to the district. The committee has talked about the roofs before. This is more of a more detailed response. Thank you.
Thank you. And I echo Mr. Willingham's words as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Sheedy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to out-of-state travel.
Yeah, this was on the agenda at the last meeting, and we had it all on one form and ended up tabling it because we wanted to make sure that each individual staff member filled out their own travel form. So this is for our director of ELA and our district coaches to attend the conference of the Reading League. So I'm hoping to get school committee approval to allow them to move forward and make plans for that.
Ms. Wilson.
So, my first question is.
Do we have a motion so that then we can get to
Sure,
discussion?
let's make a motion to, I'm going to read it off. To approve the director of ELA, and I'm going to say staff personnel because that's another question, to attend the annual conference of the Reading League.
Seconded by Ms. Dudley Williams. Discussion, Ms. Wilson.
So I see in the body it says district coaches, but I see the last three individuals being noted as expert teachers.
Yeah.
And I don't see, and Miss McAndrews, I'm not sure if she's at the district level or school level because it doesn't list what school she's at.
Yeah, she's at Kelly School. And those two terms are interchangeable. Our expert teachers are coaches, teacher coaches.
To me, they are not. I believe we list expert teachers. Is that correct when we're filling these positions, or is it listed as a job coach? The title is expert teacher, correct?
Yeah, the official title in the collective bargaining agreement is expert teacher. That's the level, but we use that term interchangeably in the district.
Okay. I'm just going to say this just so everyone's fully aware. I do not support filling expert teacher roles until we have every teaching position in our school working with our students staffed. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry, actually. No, our students deserve expert teachers. And it's a crime to have a long-term sub in a role when we have an expert teacher in the building. So I'm just going to, from that perspective, I'm just going to make it very clear. Thank you.
Ms. LaFave.
So my question is going to be not only for these travel forms, but it's going to be all across. Explain to me, so I understand that it's coming out of certain areas of the budget through grants, whatever, but one person will put down, especially in this one group, with expenses, everybody else didn't. Don't they have to come back or provide if some are driving, like the mileage, so they can get reimbursed? Wouldn't they put in there with expenses because they're not checked off?
Yeah, I mean, when it's part of our travel policy, when staff travel, if they're overnight, they're according to the policy, they would get reimbursed for, in accordance with the policy, they would get reimbursed for.
But they don't have to check it off.
It's not
It's just-
unlimited, but we got to follow whatever the policy is, whatever our travel reimbursement policy is for employees.
Okay. So, well, then they should check it off. Like, they should just all check off with expenses. So that way it just shows.
Yeah.
Any further discussion on the motion? All right. Yes.
Is he still on?
Yes.
That the school committee vote to approve and authorize out-of-state travel for Andrea Salvas, Director of ELA, and district coaches to attend the annual conference of the Reading League in Chicago, Illinois.
That's not what the motion was that I made.
No.
The motion
ahead,
I
Ms.
made
Ms.
was that the director and staff attend the annual conference of the Reading League.
Sorry about that. All right. Is Mr. Sheehan online? Okay. Roll call,
Yeah,
please.
can I ask a question before?
Mr. Sheehan.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't feel comfortable without naming the staff in the motion. To just leave it open to pick willy-nilly which staff. I mean, I think we should be naming the exact staff in the motion. So I'll vote against it. If not.
How about an amendment to the motion? I can amend
If someone there can do that, I don't have the list in front of me.
Ms. LaFave.
I'm going to go ahead and amend the motion to read that the school committee vote to approve and authorize out-of-state travel for Andrea Salvas, Mary McAndrew, Maureen Dunn, Melina Palumbo, Stephen Monge, and Julia Pluta to attend the annual conference of the Reading League in Chicago, Illinois from October 8th to the 10th, 2025.
Second. Mr. Wellington seconded on the amendment. Voting on the amendment. Roll call, please, Ms. Feliciano.
Dr. Rivera-Colon?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Ms. LaFave?
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Tenzie Williams?
C.
Mr. Rizaza?
Yes.
Mr. Wellahan?
Yes.
Mr. Collmore?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Now on the amendment motion. Roll call, please.
Dr. Rivera-Colon?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Ms. LaFave?
Yes.
LeBron Martinez?
Yes.
Kelly Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Rizaza?
Yes.
Mr. Wellahan? Mr. Collmore?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Next, we have the Power School University Conference. Mr. Soto.
Yeah, we just recently changed our student information system from School Brains to Power School. Long overdue. It's just that, 9 years ago, we changed from Rediker to School Brains, and learned pretty quickly that School Brains was a little limited in terms of access to our own information and the ability to customize reports. We, in changing that, we're trying to do as much in that system as possible. So our special ed department is currently exploring transitioning to Power School Specials Programs platform for managing special education student records. And in exploring that, we want to send some people over there. I am going to ask that this be tabled because what's attached in your work papers is that 3 special ed directors are being requested to attend, but I think that we could get away with 1 special ed director, and we should have other representation, like maybe a building principal. So I'm going to ask that this be tabled till the next meeting, and an ETL. Yeah, exactly.
ETL.
So until we identify the appropriate team to go up there, I don't think we should send 3 special ed directors. It should be a combination of those
table.
3.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion moved by Mr. Culliver, seconded by Ms. Wilson. Roll call vote, please.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
The next out-of-state travel.
I'm just going to put in the motion that the school committee vote to approve and authorize out-of-state travel for the interim superintendent, Anthony Soto, to attend the MASC conference in Hyannis from November 12th to the 14th, 2025.
Second.
Who got it?
Wasn't me.
Mr. Sheehan is back.
Okay.
Who's
Seconded by Ms. Densley Williams.
There you go.
Motion made by Ms. LaFave. Discussion.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Tensley Williams,
See.
Mr. Izaza, Mr. Willoughby,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore,
Yes,
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up, budget transfer and reports. Gifts and donations approval. That the school committee accept gifts and grants received. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. LaFave, seconded by Mr. Isasa.
Yes.
Discussion. Ms. LaFave.
Do we need to, in our motion, should we have said like each one, or no, we just keep it at that?
It's listed.
There's an attachment to it, so we all know where it's coming from,
Mhm.
and it's, okay. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Mr. Wellahan.
You can maybe just kind of state the final number, right? That's what I would,
In the total
approve-
amount?
Yeah, just the total. That's what I would recommend, but.
Okay.
Yeah, in the motion.
I'll make an amendment to the motion to be that the school committee accept the gifts and grants received in the total amount of $1,242,181.
Seconded by Mr. Isasa. On the amendment. Roll call, please.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Tensley Williams,
See.
Mr. Izaza,
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore,
yes,
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Right now, on the motion as amended.
That's Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Tensley Williams,
See.
Mr. Izaza, Mr. Willoughby,
Yes.
Collmore,
yes,
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Moving on to warrant approval reports.
That the school committee vote to receive the report on the following approved warrants. REGO 6251, amount of $1,157,279.99. REGO 625K in the amount of $1,016,024.28. Payroll warrant 26001 in the amount of $1,848,595.08. MTO 625 in the amount of $159.63. And REG 0725A in the amount of $100,153.20.
Seconded by Ms. Tensley Williams. Discussion? Mr. Wellhead.
I just want to thank Mrs. Fay for reading those.
I got you, Mr. Wellahan.
I owe you a coffee. I just want to thank the financial team for the district for breaking down the totals for us. I know, I think our last meeting, we're looking for more detail that where the money is being spent in terms of the line items and just kind of breaking these down, payroll versus direct expenses. So again, I just want to thank Sean and his team and Mr. Soto. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Tensley Williams,
C.
Mr. Izaza,
Yes.
Mr. Wellahan,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore,
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on to orders. Order by Mr. Devin Sheehan that the school committee directs the Leadership, Accountability, and Measurement Committee to meet with the superintendent to establish goals and evaluation metrics.
Motion that the school committee refer to Leadership, Accountability, and Measurement Committee the establishment of the goals and metrics for school year 25-26.
Seconded by Mr. Izaza. Discussion. All right. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Tensley Williams,
C.
Mr. Izaza, Mr. Wellahan,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore.
Yes.
Yes.
Next up, we have approval of meeting minutes.
Would anyone oppose it being grouped as a package?
If it's separated from, so I do see two. We have budget and then we have school committee.
Right. I would like to do the school committee as a package so I make a motion to accept and approve the meeting minutes of May 27th, 2025, June 9th, 2025, and June 23rd, 2025.
Oh,
Ms. LaFave.
Miss Wilson, you're having me do a lot of amendments here.
Well, so
June 9th of the
other one is a
school committee.
special. I want to
Yes.
keep it separate.
Oh, you do want to keep it
I
separate.
want to do that one separate.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
yes.
Seconded by Mr. Collmore. Discussion. Seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Tensley Williams,
C.
Mr. Izaza, Mr. Wellahan,
Yes.
Mr. Collmore,
Yes.
and Ms.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that the school committee vote to accept and approve the meeting minutes of the May 27th school committee budgeting meeting minutes.
Second that.
Seconded by Ms. Tensley Williams. Discussion. Seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Rivera Colon,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Ms. LaFave,
Yes.
Ms. LeBron Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
C.
Mr. Izaza,
Yes.
Mr. Wellahan,
Yes.
Collmore,
Yes.
and Ms. Williams.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that the school committee vote to accept and approve the meeting minutes of the June 9th special school committee meeting.
Seconded by Mr. Izaza. Any discussion?
Dr.
All right.
Rivera Colon,
Yes.
Ms. LaFave. Oh, sorry, Mr. Sheehan, excuse me.
Yes.
Ms. LaFave.
Yes.
Ms. LaBelle Martinez.
Yes.
Ms. Senzi Willie.
See.
Mr. Izaza. Mr. Willoughby.
Yes.
Mr. Collmore.
Yes,
And Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up, updates of committees. Policy and Governance Subcommittee, Ms. Wilson.
So the next meeting, I haven't checked with everyone, but it's tentatively slated for September 3rd. It's a Wednesday evening. It would be at 6 p.m. at Suffolk Street.
Thank you. Finance and Operations Subcommittee, Mr. Wellahan.
Thank you. Looking to schedule a meeting on August 21st at 5:30 down on Suffolk Street.
Thank you. Joint City Council School Committee, Mr. Collmore.
yes. We've scheduled that meeting for
Thursday.
8:14.
Mr. Wellahan.
Yep. Thank you for that. The agenda is posted on the city website.
Yep.
For that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It promises to be a very meaty meeting. Looking at the agenda. Next up, we have a Local Control Subcommittee, Ms. LaFave.
Nothing.
We have it.
I know, I was gonna say, I was like, that might be inappropriate, but
We're here. We made it.
I'm just gonna say nothing.
Next, Leadership Accountability and Measurement Subcommittee, Mr. Sheehan.
We're good.
Thank you. Ongoing business. Employee Handbook and Family Handbook, Mr. Soto.
Yeah, at the last meeting, it was requested that our legal counsel review both of the policies. So we have sent the employee handbook to Mr. Terry, and he has reviewed. And there weren't many substantive changes, but what you have in your packet reflects the attorney's review. And for the student handbook, we had Matt McAvoy review the student handbook. I will say that on the employee handbook, since the version you had in your packet, there were some suggestions by Matt McAvoy to make some changes. And before we update those, we want the school committee's legal counsel to review his suggestions. So once we have that, we will make the changes, and I'll be sure to email everyone and let them know if there was anything substantive that changed. We also have a bunch of links in there that reference the Spanish version, but we'll update those links once we get approval and finalize that. We'll send it to translation and make sure that the links are updated. I want to thank Mr. Sheehan for his thorough review of both of the handbooks, and we were able to incorporate many of his questions and suggestions that he had within the policies. But this is the latest version of both of the handbooks that you have in your packet. And I don't know if Mr. M.G.L or if Beth, who is online, want to add to that, or if anybody has any questions.
Mr. Collmore.
Just a question, Don. It's being referred to our attorney for corrections or deletions. When it comes back, it has to come back here for approval? Not just automatically,
Yeah, they've already reviewed it. So there are small suggestions that one attorney made that we want to make sure Mark Terry reviews and either accepts or rejects. But the legal attorneys have reviewed both of the handbooks. In fact, we got some really positive feedback from Mark Terry. He said this is one of the best employee handbooks that he has seen. So but yeah, I don't anticipate any substantive changes from the version that you have to the final version. But we can keep this out as an ongoing agenda item, and once there are no changes to be made, we can look for a formal vote from the school committee.
Very good, thank you.
Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you. And normally I would say I would put on my camera, but as you probably could tell, I've been very spotty service. So I'm just trying to be just a voice right now. One thing that I want to just comment on that was in the student handbook that I raised an issue with the superintendent and to the vice chair is that I think it has incredibly outdated and unnecessary language around AIDS and HIV. I spent last week looking at 26 different districts in the Commonwealth and couldn't find anyone with a policy or language that's the same. So I have asked the vice chair for our next meeting if she could invite in our attorney and our school physician, because I want to hear from about why that language needs to be there. Or cite a law that I'm not an attorney, but don't see how it's applicable. And I just think that we are being immunocompromised and people have been with HIV and AIDS different.
I think we just lost you, Devin.
I think.
So
Yeah, Devin, I think Mr. Sheehan, I think your service is spotty, but I want to capture what I heard. There is some language in there that references HIV and AIDS specifically, and when we had the attorney review it, I think there was a recommendation to keep that language in there, and Mr. Sheehan is asking for at the next school committee meeting to invite the attorney to discuss why that needs to stay in that recommendation is being made to keep that language in there. He also mentioned that he looked at 26 other districts to see if they had language in there, and they didn't have language in there around AIDS and HIV.
Ms. Wilson.
I think he also wanted the doctor, our district physician, to be at the meeting to speak to it as to the relevance. I think that's what I picked up as well.
Mr. Sheehan, was there something we missed?
Nope, that's correct. You got it.
Okay.
So the physician, and then if I could speak to this.
Yes, Ms. Wilson.
We, as the policy, we reviewed a current policy recently that spoke to AIDS and HIV, and as the subcommittee is recommending removing that because of the change and philosophy and thought process around those who have HIV or AIDS, and the shift in thought process as a society for that. So I thank Mr. Sheehan for bringing this up.
Thank you so much. And at this point, we are not looking for a motion or anything like that, so.
Oh,
Ms. Wilson.
Sorry. I think, any other, bloodborne, type of transmission type of diseases, we don't lump them and have that something for, hepatitis, or we don't have other policies that note that. So, so why are we just calling that out? I'm just going to say thank you.
Agreed. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. And, I was going to say that, but being the scientist, I feel like it was better coming from you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Superintendent Search Update. Last time in the previous meeting, we had, I left with homework on putting together an RFP for the scope of services for a search firm to conduct our superintendent search.
What's an RFP?
Request for proposals.
I did, but our,
No, that's a good thing for the public.
may know it.
And so I did that, and I gave it to all of you. I don't expect you to have your awesome recommendations at hand right now, but you can take it and read it, and then give me your feedback via email, so that way I can continue the process. Miss Wilson.
Is there a deadline you're looking for the feedback?
Yes, it would be great if I could have it by Monday, which is
The 18th?
18th. By Monday the 18th. End of day, which means 5 p.m. So that way everybody's on the same page. So that way, and I have to thank Sean and Mr. Soto for helping figure out what we needed to do in order to do this search and figure out what was the appropriate financial process to do this. Moving forward, actually, Sean, would you mind coming up so that you can tell us a little bit about this sealed bid process, if that's okay?
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
So the school committee has a couple options. You could solicit quotes from 3 firms that you choose, and you would develop a list of your requirements, list out what you're looking for. All firms would have to meet that, and then you would go with the lowest price submission. It would be a common deadline. They would submit it to the same person, and then we would go with the lowest price. We could check references and all that still. The other option would be to do a sealed bid, which would be we'd have to advertise for a couple weeks. We would post it in the Goods and Services Bulletin and some other locations, make sure we get the word out. There would be minimum requirements, and that would be a more formal submission under sealed bidding process. Anybody can bid that meets the requirements. So if you go that route, you would have to accept the low bid from any responsible and responsive vendor who submits a proposal to the sealed bidding process. So quotes, you have a little bit more control, but it's a little less formal of a process. With sealed bids, it's a more formal process, but you lose a little bit of control over who bids.
Thank you. Very informative.
Ms. Lebron Martinez.
I think one of the meetings we discussed, is that where the 25,000 is gonna be used, like that recommendation of possible fundings that is gonna be required for the search, or that's not for that?
Yeah, this scope of services, it would allow us to solicit quotes from vendors. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We think it could be around that, but it could range depending on basically the scope of work here that is sitting in front of you. So the first step in this process was for the school committee to develop what they're looking for. And that's what you have in front of you. This now, if you get any recommended changes or anything to Dr. Rivera Colon by Monday, she'll incorporate those into this scope of work. And then this would allow us to actually go out there and try to find somebody that will meet these services, and they would send us either a quote, or if we did the sealed bid process, we would advertise it in the newspaper, and we would advertise it for a couple of weeks. And then they would all submit their sealed bids to the chief procurement officer of the city, and then it would get opened, and we would select the lowest bid.
Mr. Willihan.
Thank you. Yeah, the argument against the sealed bid is, you kind of, it kind of ties your hands. You have to accept that low bid, even though, they might put in a low bid for just to get the work, but or does the low bid mean it's the best company or the best firm? not necessarily. So that's the argument against the sealed bid. The first proposal that Sean brought up, it kind of gives you more control. You might want to choose a firm that's a little bit more expensive because they have more experience. They know the needs of our city and our demographics. So it kind of gives us more flexibility. Thank you.
Mr. Mangano, is that correct? Or in both processes do we have to pick the lowest bid?
You would still have to go with the lowest bid, but you could pick the 3 companies that you solicit prices from. So there's private companies out there that do it. There's some sort of like quasi-governmental type companies groups out there. MASC does it, I think, some other ones. So you'd have flexibility to pick which of those 3 or more. You could pick more than 3 if you wanted to, that you'd reach out to.
Whereas the bid, you put the advertisement out there and you could get 10 different people that meet those minimum requirements. So that's where Mr. Mangano was saying that if you go the 3 quote process, you have a little more flexibility in deciding who the 3 companies you're going to solicit those quotes from are.
Right. We have a decision to make in terms of whether we're going to go the quotes or the sealed bid.
That we go with the quotes instead of the sealed bids.
Hold on. Ms. Wilson.
Oh.
No.
Oh, Mr. Williams.
I just made a motion.
I can't hear you.
Oh God, what did I just say? I made a motion. Help me out, Mr. Soto.
You said to accept the quotes instead of the sealed bid.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Thank you.
Seconded by Mr. Willihan. Discussion. Ms. Wilson.
Is this something we need to decide? Yeah, we do need to decide tonight because never mind. Yep, okay. All right.
All right. But the motion is for the quotes. And we all understand what that means, right? We have to solicit from
You have to
people
choose
we
3
think-
firms.
Yeah. Okay.
3 organizations.
Excellent. So at this point, we don't have to do a roll call vote because Mr. Sheehan is out there. 'Cause
So,
he should not be part of this.
Before we vote, can
Yeah, we're still in discussion. So yeah, Ms. Lebron Martinez.
So the one that we're voting only gives you the options of 3, not the open opportunity to look at more if
We can do more, but we
Oh.
choose who.
okay,
Correct.
that's what I'm saying. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah. 3 is just
Minimum,
the minimum.
required.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Do we have any abstains? Okay, never mind. I was just wondering because someone left the room, so I didn't know. Thank you.
Ms. Fay left the room and Mr. Sheehan left the room for this conversation.
Thank you.
All right. So now we have decided to go the quote. And you will give me all of your feedback by Monday for the scope of the work.
Or else
Or
it just goes
else.
as is.
So now I would like to, and I wrote down who I picked, appoint a review committee for the quotes that are going to be coming in. And my appointment is for Mr. Orlando Isasa,
Ooh.
Miss Wilson,
Ooh.
and Miss Lebron Martinez.
Ooh.
Made a motion.
So do I have a motion to approve that our quote review subcommittee be Mr. Isasa, Miss Wilson, and Miss Lebron Martinez?
Yes, I made that one.
Motion made by Ms.
Second.
Tensley Williams, seconded by Miss Wilson. Discussion? Do you all agree to be part of this review committee? Excellent.
I agree.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. So we have our committee, and then I'll have one last motion just to make sure. May I have a motion so that I have the power to make the edits that you're gonna give me for your feedback to move forward so that then we can move the process along?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Isaza, seconded by Mr. Willihan.
Can-
Go
Point of,
ahead.
point of
Discussion.
order. And I'm just trying to better understand what is expected to be on our agenda versus new business that's not of a like time constraint. Because I see the superintendent search update, but I don't have any, there was nothing to say what we were going to be voting on tonight. And I'm just wondering, is that okay? You know what I mean? Because typically it's on the agenda what we're making motions on. Do you understand?
Yes.
Where this, the city council, they would have a order,
Yes.
emergency orders because it couldn't wait. So I'm just trying to better understand when we say, because I think last meeting or the meeting prior, we said something couldn't be put on because it wasn't on the original agenda and there wasn't enough urgency to it.
Right.
So I'm just trying to better understand our process.
So we move forward with what we discussed in the previous meeting. I could have been more explicit into the agenda item, that's for sure. And at the same time, this gave us flexibility that if I had an RFP completed by today, we could take a vote.
Okay.
So that was the purpose of that. But yes, now that we have the whole process moving forward, we can have specific votes and meetings and so on and so forth.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah. But you are absolutely correct, though.
All right, thank you. Just trying to get it right.
Yeah, we all are. Much appreciated. All right. So, do we have a motion? Did we did that already? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? So moved. So now, once I have this draft of the RFP with all of the feedback, the review subcommittee will receive said process, and then you will be able to start the process so that we can move forward and select the people we're going to send this to. Make sense? All right. Excellent. So we have made it to the end of our agenda, the announcements. Please do not forget, on Thursday, we have the ribbon cutting ceremony for New Peck Middle School. So excited, 2 to 3:30 p.m. And if you have time and are available, they're still looking for volunteers for the backpack event at Kelly School from 10 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, August 16. The rest of the announcers are in the agenda. Are there any announcements that were not posted that you would like to announce before we leave?
It's going to be a great year in Holyoke.
Love it. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. All right, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by Ms. O'Fave, seconded by Ms. Thompson Williams. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.